Have you written the next great novel but don't know what to do with it? Join me today as I sit down with a group of authors who put themselves in print, next on Views and Vibes. Like all traditional media and entertainment areas, book publishing can be a hard field to break into. But because of advances in printing and the world domination of the internet, a number of would-be authors are finding ways to bypass the media giants and are publishing themselves with great success. Joining me today are a few of these self-published authors themselves. Author of the book, How to Get Out of Debt, Get an A credit rating for free using the system I've used successfully with 1,000 clients, is Ms. Harrine Freeman. And also the author of the Black Erotica series, What I Do Is Taboo, is Yonder. Welcome to the show, you guys. Welcome back, Yonder.
Thank you.
Glad to have you guys here. Now, what we want to talk about tonight is self-publishing. You know, I run into people all the time who are so curious about the books that I publish. I have 4 of my own, and people are like, you know, how do I do it? How do I, publish books? And my first thing is to tell them, hey, you have to write it first. Don't worry about getting out here and publishing. But why? Why self-publish when you have all these major companies out there that, are publishing other people right now? Why go self-publishing? Why go that route?
Well, I chose self-publishing because originally I went the traditional route. I contacted about a dozen publishers. I sent my book out for review, and they all rejected it. And then I met a woman who had self-published a book. She told me a lot of things to do to get the process started to actually self-publish my book. So I said, well, it can't hurt to try the self-publishing route. So that's what I did, and I was very passionate about it. And so I think the key, if you choose that route, you have to be very passionate, you have to be very dedicated, and it takes a lot of hard work. And if you're not willing to do that, then I don't suggest going that route.
And knowing that it's going to take so much work, why, Yonder? Why did you decide to go that route?
My story was similar to hers. Was I started sending my stuff out. I wrote the book and started sending to folks and trying to get them to tell me how to go about the process. And of course, no one came to, hey, no one knocked my door down.
Right.
I started reading self-publishing novels. There's one by Kwame Alexander called Do the Right Thing, and me and Kwame became friends. So one thing led to another. After I read the book, I was like, okay, I can do this. Right. So once I started writing it and putting everything out and started doing all the legwork, and it's funny, after you're published now, some of those same folks who wouldn't touch you then, I see them now out in the industry. Oh, you got your,
and everybody's curious.
Yeah, everybody's curious how you doing everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, like I said, I tell a lot of people, before you can even think about publishing, you need to write. For you, where do you get your inspiration for writing? You have your book of erotica. You have 3 books on erotica, Black Erotica. Where did you get the inspiration to write these particular books? It's
a combination of stories that I know of. Some of them are people I know, some of them are me. And it's just a combination, and it's actually a 7-book series. 7 is basically completion. It's a young man growing up, so he's 16, 17, 18, 19, up until each book he's changing. And when he finally finishes up, he's complete, happily married. But it's the combination of things he had to go through in order to find himself along the way. Most of us in the book series, it talks about just finding himself. So when he finally gets to book 7, he actually finds himself.
Wow. Wow. So you have a long series to work on.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Harrine, for you, your book is about helping people with their credit. Why write a book when you can just bring people in, make them pay you directly to do it? Why would you actually write a book and put all this into a book where people can just spread it around themselves?
Well, the main reason I wrote the book is because when I got into debt when I went to college. They had tables like this lined up on campus, and I got my free T-shirt and a free credit card at the same time. So that's started my downward spiral of being in debt. But during that process, I got so frustrated because I couldn't find any information. I couldn't find anyone to help me. And so I decided to put myself on a budget. I took my lunch to work. I, cut back on everything. I didn't buy any new clothes. I didn't go out to eat, nothing like that. And so I just really buckled down, got a second job, And then once I got myself out of debt, I started helping my family and friends, and I said, you know, this is a need. People have a need to know how to manage their finances, how to improve their credit score, how to get themselves out of debt. So that's the reason I wrote the book, because I wanted to help as many people as possible. Yes, I could have done one-on-one counseling, but I would not reach as wide of an audience. So I decided to write the book so that I could help a greater number of people.
I know for me, in terms of my writing process, I need to take just quiet time. You know, I need to get away from people. I need to focus. I need to be able to get into my groove. And it's so hard to get back into the groove when you get pulled out of it. What is the writing process? What was the writing process for you when you were writing this book? Did you do it all in like one take? Did it take a couple of years?
I am a different kind of writer. People always ask me that, and I don't follow an outline. I don't do anything of the traditional things they say you're supposed to do.
I'm get to it.
If I have an idea, I write it until all of the ideas are done, and then when I get an idea again, I'll start writing it down. And then
do you keep it like in a journal, or do you actually write the book?
I don't write the book that way.
Wow, okay.
And so with this book, I just wrote my ideas, and then I would just add to it, and eventually it turned into, you know, the over 200-page book you see there. And then I went back and edited the book and that kind of thing. I generally don't get writer's block. I just write